This is Lab 2, Part 5. Let me continue. Again, I want a blank line between after the task 3. If you could for me, just go ahead and give me a blank line between them. The next one is we're going to do task number 4 into this. And if you look at task number 4, I ask you to prompt a user to use for a diameter. And then you're going to read in and store those variables, and again you got to go up to where it allocates the memory. You need to declare any variables being used here. The diameter is twice as long as the radius, so calculate and store the radius in the appropriate named variable. Okay, so you got to go up to the top and you look at where I had task number 4 right here. You need to declare some variables that you need to use here. Okay, so this is where task number 4 comes in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this so I could actually have some more space here. So this is task number 4 I'm about to do. And task number 4 in this thing is picking up where that leaves off with this thing. Is you need to prompt the user for a diameter of a sphere. Okay, you need to read that in, read the diameter, and you need to calculate the radius. You need to calculate the volume. You need to calculate I think that's all I asked you, is to calculate the volume, and the last one is to print out the volume. Okay, so that's about it. I mean, this is how much I'm going to guide you through this as much as I can in this thing. This is basically what I'm looking for. Is if you can please let me make sure that you see everything I have you do in this thing. And I kind of have this font kind of big enough, or for you. Let me drop this down to size 12 so you can see the whole thing. This is what the whole thing looks like right now. Okay. From top to bottom. Okay. So, alrighty. This is the 5th part. Concludes the numeric types with it as well. Before I depart, make sure you save everything that you have. So file save, and make sure that you save this in your local directory. But when you compile this, you know that you got to take this over to your Java local drive, Java /bin, and you're going to actually compile it in your java.bin. Compile it, get to work, copy that file, save it in your local drive, the directory where you saved it. Make sure you save that and the class file, both. Alright, and then upload that to me. Upload that file to me, and so I can actually compile your source code as well. Don't upload the wrong file. That's what I don't want you to do. Is be careful in the location where you work with it. So just a few things with it. It's kind of finicky the way how you do this thing. Okay, so all right. So that concludes the numeric types. All right. Continuing is that the task number 4, I gave you this formula that you are supposed to write out and express that in the formula that I want you to use with it. Make sure you were able to go in and define the volume and the radius and all the stuff with it. But I'm not going to collect this right here. I'm not going to grade you on this thing, but this is what's called pencil and paper. So if I plug in a formula with a diameter 2, what is the volume? How is that calculated? What is that compared to the computer? So hand calculation versus the computer calculation with it. So go in and you realize half of 2 is 1, so you plug 1 into this formula that you have and you multiply this out. You tell me what this is, what is in pencil and paper or a calculator, hand calculator, and what does your program tell you. So the diameter is 24.4, half of 25.4 is what? So take half of it, take half of this as your radius, and put it into this formula up here and calculate, does it match what your program is reading? That's the point. So that concludes task number 4. Let me talk to you about this one. The second program is is a program I want you to do from scratch. All right. So you start out from scratch with this. Notice that how you save this file is mileage, and you will save this file to create you a notepad with the skeleton that I gave you here. And this is what I want you to do, is make sure you save this thing as the mileage. So this is your second file that you have as the source code that goes into your lab directory with this thing. And I want you to actually read this source code, which is what's called a pseudocode. Translate the following algorithm, which is in English with it, into Java. Now, don't forget to declare the variables before they are used. So each variable must only be one word, no spaces. Why? Variables are identifiers. What are identifiers? They're functions, they're variables, and they're constants. So what does that mean? You remember how in 1436 that you can't start out with a number? They're alpha and numeric and underscore. So you got to be able to keep it in a simple way with it. The same concept transfer from 1436 from C++ to Java. So here's what I would have you do. So reading this algorithm right here, you need to be able to go inside of this thing, indicate the line, welcome to document, whatever it is, print a line indicating that the program, something like system out, print line, this program will calculate the mileage with some sort of instruction. Second line, prompt the user asking for a driven miles. So think of the data type. Now this is one of the things that when we talk about data type, it's very important. Data types is designed for a couple of reasons. One is because you want to choose the right data type for the right variable. Why? It's about memory management. Okay, you're managing a memory. If I had my way, I can give everything as a double long, all right, which is about 8 bytes. That's an overkill. It's like killing a bee with a shotgun. You gotta give the right size to the right memory. So, and the other second thing is precision. Okay, you want it to run off in the right accuracy of the precision of the data type, which relates to what's called casting. Alright, we're going to talk more about this as the course progresses with this thing. Let me check my minutes here.